against the grain, let me really basically is terminating. Going against the grain is termination. Going against the grain is terminates any situation you had in common with someone. That's going against the grain. 2, it comes from a manipulative liar to keep parties in control. And they go against the grain. Going against the grain is blaming a situation on one party when it took the 2 of you to do it. You understand? That's almost like you going to jail and y'all both going to jail for committing a crime, and this fool is refusing to be your co-defendant, and he's like, he ain't that. He went against the grain on you. Going against the grain, it has a cost. It's called the cost of not caring. You don't care anymore. Once you go against the grain, you don't care. You understand? You have to put that in perspective. When I'm going against the grain, I am not caring at that time, because I'm not focusing on what anybody else is getting ready to go through. I'm only focusing on how I can remain outside of jail, in a good situation, in a good place, where it don't even matter if the other people are put in a bad space, a bad situation. You won't even think about it. See, that's something else when you go against the grain. You don't think about nothing that goes on around your environment. The only thing that you're thinking about at that time is yourself. All right. Going against the grain. Hi, Jay. Deuces. All right. Going against the grain is to disregard. You have disregard for the other individual. It means to break an agreement. You can have a solid agreement with someone and they go against the grain and they break it. You understand? And then number 3, a breach of trust. You understand? A breach of trust or a breach of contract. You understand? I'm going to answer that question for you in one moment, babe. I just want to kill it in my thought. You understand? Also, going against the grain is to offend someone. But the last one, going against the grain, is to violate. You understand? And that's the last one that, I want to emphasize on, is because, when you're going against the grain, you violate. You understand? You straight violating. And sometimes we need to take a closer look up at what you violating on. You understand? And what you settling for because you violated. How about that? Sometimes you can violate the wrong people in your life. And when you violate the wrong people in your life, guess what? You still let them go. You let them go and everything, even though you know you violated. You won't apologize. You won't say anything. You won't go nowhere near them. That's because you know that you're wrong. You understand? But, in the end, in the beginning of the day, it's the other individual that you went against the grain on that's going to really feel that. It's the other individual. It may be 1 or 2 or 3 or 4 or more. You go against the grain on somebody in your family, you break a breach of contract, a breach of trust, a breach of agreement. You have total disregard for them. You don't care. You offend them and you straight violate. It's time to cut you the fuck off, period, for life. Listen, it's like more or less, you say, how do you forgive somebody like that? When somebody does that, it's not about forgiving them. You gotta forgive their actions. You understand? You gotta say, you know what, I forgive you for your actions towards me, because we are family and I do love you. And this is when it's like, okay, would I be humble and be like, stand forward years from now? Absolutely not. No. See, because once you break a breach of trust with me, see, I'm different. When you break a breach of trust with me and I don't trust you, don't come around me. I'm not the kind. when you grow, you evolve and change. So what may be right before might not be right now. You know, that's true. That's very true. And no, I didn't go against the grain on my brother. My brother went against the grain on me several times. You understand? He had involved me in some things. See, you don't know that. You see, this is the thing about going against the grain on somebody. You don't call people up and involve them in your life and involve them in your shit. You understand? And then she call and involve you in their shit. And then, you know, so then my mother comes and involves me in this shit. And then I'm sitting here and I'm getting the feedback. And I'm like, you know, and I'm like, okay. And then the minute that, you know, and then I said, but hold up, you know, because why is it that when it came to him going against the grain and they were going through their shit, she would go against the grain on him. You understand? And I said to her, I said, you know what? Don't you know that it's you his woman? And by you supposed to be his woman? And if he did talk to you about me, why are you coming back and telling me? Because y'all had a fight? So every time that y'all have a fight, you want to let me know everything my brother said about me. And I used to go off. I used to go off, call up on the phone and be like, motherfucker, if you got something to say about me, say it to my face. You understand? Don't be sitting up there talking to her about me. And what are you talking to her about me about? Oh, I'm this and I'm that. Oh, I'm a bully. And or I never felt like I was obligated. But you know what? I never felt that he was obligated to do anything for me. But you know what? It's like more or less, let's just get this scenario. And